Good morning, everybody. I'm Brad. I'm back again with another clip. And this, my friends, is clip number 50. I always get lost in doing so many clips, but I'm making notes now. Clip number 52. Yes, Deuteronomy 19 to 20. So that's what I'm going to speak about today. So if you get a chance, you want to turn to your Bible and you want to go to there to see what I'm speaking about exactly, you can. On your own time. You can do it now if you like to as well, but that's what I'm speaking about. I'm going to elaborate a little bit about clip number 50. That was 18 to 19 in Deuteronomy, when I was speaking about avoiding wicked customs. Just want to touch base back there just a little bit. There was something else I left out I didn't speak about. What I left out, guys, was this is what, remember, this is Moses. Moses wrote these chapters and these books, and it was God talking to him, telling him these things, and he wrote these things. So here he talks about, there shall not be found among you anyone who makes his son or daughter pass through the fire, or one who practices witchcraft, or a soothsayer, or one who interprets omens, or a sorcerer, or one who conjures spells, or a medium, or a spiritist, or one who calls up the dead. For all who do these things are an abomination to the Lord. So, pretty much, it is what it is. It says what it says. Psychics, ghost chasers, Ouija board. God basically tells us clearly in this chapter 18 to 19 to stay away from those things. So again, there's people in this world that do it, and they choose to do it, and that's their choice. God says we have our own free will to do what we want to do, but this is what God asks of us, basically tells us what to do. So I go back to, it's like a parent again, right? Your parent says, don't do this, don't do that, and kids go out and they do it anyways. It's the same thing. Doesn't matter if you're a kid, doesn't matter if you're an adult. So anyways, I forgot to mention that, so I'll have to throw that in there. But now I'm gonna jump over quickly to 19 to 20 in Deuteronomy, clip number 52. And what I'm going to speak about today is a couple little items that are interesting, I guess. It's basically Israel. They take over Jordan, a couple cities in Jordan, and the 3 cities that are in Jordan, they're there. And God basically tells them to not only just take over their cities, but to separate them into 3 cities. And that's what they do. And the reason why they do that, which is quite interesting, is because he basically had it this way that if somebody accidentally killed somebody, like say I'm chopping a tree and my axe goes flying off the handle, cuts the guy next to me, wounds him, kills him. It was by accident. I didn't mean to do it. But because he got killed, there's going to be an avenger of blood, meaning somebody's coming to look for me and kill me and harm me because I killed their son, daughter, whatever, right? So God made it so that they had 3 cities. So if that was to happen, I could take off and go to a different place. So I could take off to one of these cities so that the avenger of blood and his anger could subside, and he wouldn't come looking for me because they were so far away. So that's the way it was back then. And then there was another part in this chapter where if you lie in wait to kill somebody and then you end up killing them intentionally, like you wanted to kill them, you wanted to harm them, and you harmed them, you stabbed them, you did whatever. They didn't have guns back then. I'm pretty sure it was probably stabbing back then. Most likely little, pitchforks and knives and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, if you did that back then it was treated differently, because the elders would form together a group of people and they would hunt you down, just like America's Most Wanted. Yeah, they would hunt you down. They would go and they would find you. And when they would find you, they would bring you back. And they didn't put you, but like among their court system, and they're judging what they're going to do with you. They gave you to the Avenger of Blood. Yikes. Man. Can you imagine what he would have did when he got his hands on you? Unbelievable. So it's really quite interesting how they lived back then compared to how we live now. It's a little bit comparable. The only difference is, you know, you gotta remember, Jesus Christ died on the cross for us. So now we can take our sins to God and ask God to forgive us. But no matter what law you break, there's consequences to it. Just like there's consequences to sin. You sin, there's consequences to it. You know, you rob a bank, you kill somebody, you hit somebody drunk driving, there's laws in place. And you get brought before the courts, and you're pretty much judged. It's a case brought up, right? Witnesses and evidence and all that stuff. And at the end of the day, your fate is in the judge's hands and the jury. And if it's found out that you're guilty, well, your consequences, whatever it is. We don't have death penalty here in Canada, but life with parole, you know, so many years. That's the way it is. Back then, a little different. So that was one part in 19 to 20, Deuteronomy here, that I read about. Another part was back then, property boundaries. So the properties that were sectioned off, and you know, the elders basically would make it like, here's this property, here's that property. You weren't allowed to change it. You weren't allowed to change the landmarks or remove them. They had to stay that way back in the day, once they were set. Then the last part that it speaks about in verse 15, law concerning witnesses. Again, it goes back to, you know, you couldn't take somebody before the elders and the judges and say they did this or say they said that or whatever it was that they did. You couldn't just do it with one person. It wasn't just by one person's word. It had to be by 2 or 3 witnesses. And basically, the elders and the judges would make a decision by the evidence brought before them, how it was handled, and if they were found guilty or not. That's pretty much the same thing we do now, but it's on a much larger scale, right? The court system that we have, the process that we go through, the money involved that you have to pay to do all this stuff. Even when there is assistance, you know, a lot of, very expensive. So that basically covers, guys, between 19 to 20. It's interesting. Every little chapter, every verse is different, but it just breaks down little stories back in the past, and I love it. I find it amazing. I don't know how anybody doesn't find it amazing, because, you know, those of you that are my age, and we used to read the Windsor Star, right? It had all stories in there. It had all stories in there. And now more than ever, you can't just make up crap and put it in there. You're not allowed to do that. You can get sued. There's, you know, so many different things that you just can't say. You can't make up stuff. You get us charged with assault. You can't say things about a person. You can get charged with, you know, I forget what it's called, something their character. I forget the name of it right now. You can't make up stuff. It has to be true facts and evidence that you put out there. And you got to be very careful when you put it out there. So to me, back then, these stories that were written and put out there, my God, these are amazing stories, guys. I mean, this is the way they lived. We live the way we live now. That's the way they lived then. So they're going to write their stories and tell their stories, just like we write our stories and tell our stories now. Can there be a faltered story? Can there be a story that's not so truthful? I would say yeah, of course, probably, right? You just got to judge the facts. And again, it comes down to the evidence and the witnesses. I always use this one. This is what I like to use. There was dinosaurs back in the day. 100% there was dinosaurs back in the day. Why? Because they found dinosaur bones all over the world. And they put them in certain museums where they have them. Small to large. There was dinosaurs back in the day. You can't dispute it. You can't argue about it. You can't say, oh, no, you can't. It's there. It is there. So that is strong evidence to prove itself. That's the way I look at everything that is out there, right? There's stories about Moses. I led the people out of Israel, and the stuff that he went through as he was doing it. And those are amazing stories. Amazing stories. Unbelievable stories. It kills me how people are so disobedient, talk so much, lie so much, make up stories. It's unbelievable. But again, it shows me there's no difference than now to then. Now than the way it is now. We got the same kind of people here doing the same thing. Making up stories, lying, finding ways to knock the truth out of everybody's mind and gear you down a different path that makes no doggone sense whatsoever. But that's the way our world turns. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this clip. Another interesting clip. I don't even know if I even give this clip. Did I give this clip a title? I don't think I did I? Basically in Deuteronomy it says 3 cities of refuge. So I guess I could call it 3 cities of refuge. And that's what I could basically call it. And then the subtitle would be safety of, I don't know, 3 cities of refuge. I don't know. It doesn't need a subtitle. We'll just go with 3 cities of refuge. But anyways, guys, today's Monday. I think I said it was Sunday earlier. Wow, am I ever out of it today, right? Wake up early, try to do a video, and I need to go back to bed. It's time for one of those naps. But anyways, yeah, actually, see, not going to work today, so that's why it feels like a Sunday. Today's Monday, and it's a holiday, so it's got me a little groggy. But anyways, guys, God bless you. Wish you all the best. Have a great day. Enjoy your holiday. And I will see you next time with one of my clips, which will be clip number 53. Until then, God bless. Take care. Kiss everyone. Love everyone. Hug everyone. Enjoy your day. And we'll see you soon. Bye for now.